Okay, Olou. So we had two very, very interesting parts. Part one, where we discover a little bit more about you. You're from your journey from Benin to the US, back into Africa, working to different ideas, and then moving on with the current idea that you're working on. It's not even an idea, I have to say. It's now a company that you built, because you even have some prototype that you are using, Sakpata Motors. You have 3 bikes that you've designed and they're currently running. And then I'm sure a lot of people will have seen already the video clip that you sent to a number of people, including myself, right? And that's brilliant. So in this third part, Olou, I want to find out, so what is now the plan going forward? What is that you have in mind for Sakpata Motors? Did you hear me? Okay, Olu, I think we had 2 very interesting parts where we initially talked about you, finding more about your journey, from Benin to the US, back to Benin, and then looking at a number of issues that you are working to solve. Then we also looked at the company that you launched recently, Sakpata Motors. So looking to design electric motorbike in the country, but also the whole of West Africa. And you already have 3 prototypes that are currently running, and you have even more projects on the go within that company. So I wanted to know in this part, so what is the plan going forward? What is in your mind with regard to the company?
Okay, thank you, Tony. Before answering the plan for the company moving forward, I want to explain the technology of our electrical motorcycle or petrol motorcycle conversion. So we have the conversion part, which working with local people, local technicians, meaning mechanics, electricians, welders, is to design motorcycles or to convert a semi-new motorcycle into electrical is challenging. It has been really difficult for us, and this is one of the reasons I was saying when you asked about how I'm feeling about this company. I said a roller coaster, meaning we have some days where things are fantastic, we are really excited, and then some days where we get really depressed, and we even sometimes think that Africa maybe is not ready technically to start making things. But so that's the conversion part. So there's a lot of work training locals to be able to master this and do it very well. And we want to focus on moving forward. We want to focus on training locals to do this in any country that we are going to be implementing our Sakpata motorcycles in mobility. So it's not going to be just Benin making motorcycles and selling it to the rest of West Africa. Our vision is to have the Marconi Center in pretty much any country where we will be selling Sakpata motorcycles. So for that, we need to get the training process down so that people locally can be able to really do it. And then the second piece of it is the battery itself. So the main part of electrical motorcycle is the battery, the storage unit. So we are working, we have fully designed already, as patent pending. It's battery, a lithium-ion battery system where local people can assemble it, repair it, and recycle it. And that's the most important piece of our work. The other part is working with, we don't want to set up our own solar battery charging stations for the e-motorcycles. We want to work with existing infrastructures, existing companies. So we are talking with the gas stations, existing gas stations, so that we can partner with them and set up our mobile battery charging stations at the gas stations, and then also corner stores in some villages. There's no gas station, but they have a corner store in every village. Set up those stations as well. So the idea is to rent the batteries out. Selling the battery with the motorcycle will cost a lot and will not allow the regular motorcycle users to be able to quickly convert their motorcycles into electrical. So we plan to rent the batteries out to them. To be able to do that, we need to have the stations pretty much everywhere so that people can quickly swap the depleted batteries for a fully charged one and for a fee. So that's what we are planning. That's our plan for the next phase of our work.
That's excellent, excellent, and thanks for that. Well, listen, I've seen the video that you share, as I mentioned that already, and showing the journey that you've gone through designing that and assembly that yourself, and also demonstrating that going through the road of Cotonou just to show people that it works and it works very well. And realistically,
Yes.
I like to see a lot more of those motorcycles running, because we said if we're going to bring down the CO2, we have to look at the transportation, and what you designed definitely it's a way to also address it. So what would you say you need to go forward in this project? So how can we help you? How can somebody help you at this stage?
So yeah, Tony, for any business or any new business, when we ask what you need, you and I both know the first thing is always money, right? But I'm not going to talk about money. There are more important things than money in doing this. We are advocating for a new revolution, which is getting rid of the ICE engines, the petrol vehicles, and enter a new world of electrical vehicles, electrical mobility. And to do that, we need everybody. The same way we got together and moved the off-grid electrification, solar energy industry forward, and we need to energize and get together and push the e-mobility industry also forward. And we have to do it, all of us together. But for my company, what we need right now to move forward is, like I said, the conversion of petrol motorcycle into electrical. That part is already done. It's already designed and can happen easily, quickly. But then once people convert the petrol motorcycle into electrical, there's a question about batteries and how to charge the battery. So one might think about, okay, they will take the battery home and charge it with the power source. But the battery is so expensive that if we sell the battery with the converted motorcycle, a lot of people are not going to be able to afford it. Now we are thinking about, okay, we are not going to upfront sell the batteries. We will rent them out. So that's battery as a service. And the way we design the batteries is that not just electrical motorcycle owners can rent our batteries. Even people in off-grid communities without electricity can call to the station and get a battery and use it for 3 or 4 days of electricity at their home or business, and then return it and rent a new one again. To be able to install that infrastructure, that's where we need money, investors, and we need to partner with regulators in every country. We need to partner with existing gas stations in every country, and we need to partner with lithium battery manufacturers so that we can get the price to a level where this can quickly be affordable for every motorcycle user.
Okay, no, that's what it
Does
was.
that answer your question?
Okay, go ahead.
No, I was asking if that answered your question.
Oh, it does brilliantly. It does brilliantly. I think that's you've given a very extensive response, right? It's not just about money, but if the whole infrastructure needs to be built, you need also people
Exactly.
with expertise and people with different
Exactly.
contacts. So yeah, I think it is well understood. So I have a couple of questions for you, and after that we come to the end of this wonderful conversation. So you said that you definitely a serial entrepreneur, right? Looking at the various ideas you worked on at the moment. So you already mentioned at least a couple in this interview. So you talked about the solar business you built or you worked on, and then this Sakpata Motors. So and then the other thing that you mentioned. Where do you see yourself in 1 year, and where do you see yourself in 10 years?
In 1 year term, Sakpata Motors plan to have so we say we call it phase two. Phase two is in 1 year and in 2 years. So we plan to convert around 30,000 to 50,000 motorcycles here in Benin. And when we say Benin, we often also talk about neighboring countries because you can't really do anything in one country without touching the cities, the villages around the borders of the neighboring countries. So we are planning to get 30 to 50,000 motorcycle converted to electrical and partner with, like I said, existing petrol infrastructures and not try to reinvent the wheel. Partner with them to set up our solar battery charging stations, battery swapping stations for battery as a service. And this is the main aspect of our business. It's offering battery as a service. We want to use existing petrol station because one thing will happen in the future, which might be them running out of business. And since they are interesting parties, we want to work with them so that they also have they also have a business in place for the transition from oil to electrical. So in the next 1 and 2 years, that's what we plan to do. And then in the next 5 years, our goal by 2026 is to have 150,000 electrical motorcycles on the streets of West Africa.
Okay, and that's okay. That's great. And I guess those 5 years you can easily extend that to 10 years as well, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. And
Okay.
10 years is to have 10% of the motorcycle market in West Africa.
That's a big objective.
Yeah, which is around 700,000 to 1 million motorcycles.
Whoa, why not? Why not? Right? Why not? So
once we speed up the conversion process, and people can bring in the semi-new motorcycle at a fraction of the cost, convert it into electrical, having batteries available for rental. I mean, the whole thing is going to go wild. It's like a wildfire.
Okay. Let's wait and see, right? So we shall have another conversation in a year time, in 5 years time, 10 years time, and we see whether your prediction were actually correct. but it's great. It's great to have this vision. It's great to be able to drive this vision. So let me now come to the last question of our interview. So you obviously are very much aware of what's going on in the rest of the industry, and not only in Benin but the rest of the world. And I'm sure you have heard about the the 2030 SDGs goal. Everybody know about that. So there is a new one that is now taking shape. I'm hearing more and more companies and also countries committing to that, which is achieving carbon neutrality by 2050. So I
Yes.
just wanted to ask you, as a professional from the field, so are you optimistic about the world reaching these objectives? And more specifically, so do you believe that Africa and African businesses will also play their part there?
Hmm. Wow. I don't.
Oh, a big
Tony,
man like you, Ivy League, I'm sure you have the response.
this is a big question. I don't really think anyone has the response. There's no one response. Everyone has their own perception of the world and the direction in which the world is going. But then yeah, okay, from my perspective, right, the way I see it, uh, carbon neutrality is so. Tony, I do a lot of biomimicry, which is learning, observing, and understanding nature, and design technologies from the study of nature or observation of nature. So I do a lot of biomimicry work, and when we talk about carbon neutrality, in nature as well, like if we are trying to be like nature, right, and go towards zero waste,
Mhm.
I'm thinking nature also produces carbon. Carbon is part of life. So when us engineers, us technology people try to think about a world of carbon neutral, I'm not going to discourage people in the sector by saying it's not realistic, but I'm trying to say like we can, as a whole, try to find a use for our CO2 emissions or our CO2 engine producers and convert them into something new. But there will always be, as long as there's human on this planet, there will always be um, somehow carbon production. But that can go into a circular economy where it will not be an externality anymore, but it will be woven into our society and everything we do. People will start thinking about industries, factories, cars, motorcycles, homes, businesses in a more holistic way when they are designing products or businesses or when they are living their lives. Um, uh, that's the that's my perception. That's the direction I think, and in my opinion, we should be taking instead of just having a set year where we will go carbon neutral. I'm not pessimistic, but I don't think it's realistic.
Okay.
It's too soon. It's like in the next 29 years.
Okay. Okay. That, that's a viewpoint. That's a viewpoint. I think some may challenge and say that looking at the amount of technology that's around, and I believe you all of also alluded to that earlier in the conversation. It's um, it's all about collaborating and then
Exactly.
using synergies to bring it to optimize solution that's already around and make sure how we can get the scalability factor very quickly in order to reach or achieve some results that may
Mhm.
seem impossible to reach nowadays. But when people come together, all of a sudden you can see all the all the cleverness, you know, ingenu in the word slipped my mind. What I'm trying to say, that's where you can
Yeah, but
see.
you said it perfectly. Like
Yeah.
you said it perfectly. You said synergy. You said synergy, and you said all of us working together,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
said, I mean, making better what we already have today and moving toward that goal of the carbon neutral goal. You said it
Yes.
perfectly in those words. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent. Whoa,
So
Olu,
like you said, it needs a lot, right? It needs all of us.
it definitely all of us. So, well, listen, Olu, I think you've been very, very generous by giving us this exclusive interview. And like I say, ever since you sent me the video of you working on this prototype, and you, like I say, that's what I'm showing here. So that's the bike that you've taken on the road.
And that's
Yeah,
me in green and yellow.
yeah. Oh, exactly. And then and I just love it, and I just wanted to have it just in honor of the brilliant job I've done so far. But it was great, great, great having you in this channel. I'm sure we're gonna have multiple other interviews. All I can say is definitely go forward, go ahead, because that's what we need in the continent. We definitely need
Thank you.
a solution that addresses the climate change issue that we are having. But most importantly, so we need African solutions designed by Africans because they understand the environment, they understand how to make it happen, and that's for
Yeah.
me a way to take it forward because they just in what you're doing, there's just so many aspects of it that's very interesting. First of all, you transfer technology. First of all, you've understood really technology at the core to be able to replicate that locally using the local materials, involving
Mhm.
the youth from the ground,
Mhm.
and obviously benefiting the whole society. And why not exporting later and tomorrow your fantastic innovation? So for me, it's typically exactly what we like to see. That's what for us, it's I wouldn't say it's a duty for us to cover what you are doing and to share that people in our
Thank you. It's
network.
a
So I
pleasure.
can only
Thank you
say
very much.
congratulations, and you know already, so you can count on our support, and I'm hoping that we'll have a chance to discuss a lot more about the next phases of your adventure when you all of a sudden conquer West Africa and beyond.
Yeah, we are not going to conquer all of West Africa, but we are going to help each other. We are going to help each other convert to a new world, a world less polluted, and a bit smarter world where, for example, we are not going to deal with people stealing motorcycles, people stealing cars. We are going to make them smart so that we can remotely track, remotely monitor. We can together, all of us, we can build a bit smarter world for at least for our children and our kids. So yeah, we are just playing our parts.
Excellent.
not, not really trying to conquer,
Nah, yeah, you're right. Conquer is not the right word, but sort of play
but
your
try to
part.
innovate and inspire other people to innovate as well, and then tell my brothers and sisters in Africa that it's our duty, it's our responsibility as African to do it right.
Yeah, exactly. I
Because we
think
haven't had the infrastructures in place yet. So if we are trying to build it, let's do it right.
yeah, I think you were right to correct me there. Conquer, it's a bit aggressive, but the right word is actually is to take take the innovation, the invention beyond your borders to share that with people, to spread across the knowledge so other people can benefit from it. Because at the end of the day,
But
this is
yeah.
what you like doing. Yeah, so
Yeah, I do understand you when you say conquer though. You know, in business school at Wharton, all of us we just use conquer, and you got me there, right? That's my NGO non-profit mind that I got into it when you say conquer, but it's conquer, right? I have to like own up to it and accept that once you have a brand name, you have a patent pending technologies, you are trying to conquer the world. so
yeah.
so from a business standpoint, you are like the word conquer is perfect. That's the word we use. But that again is me being um, a non-profit or
Yeah.
NGO person trying to do
Minded.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry. You're gonna do that, but do that ethically.
I hope so. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
you're
you.
gonna be the ethical
And
millionaire soon. Don't worry.
thank you for your time as well, and thank you for helping us let the word out, and share what we are trying to do, and then and see if other people want to do the same thing. If you can collaborate, if you can build up some synergy around this transition.
Yeah, I think the last piece of advice I would give you, from an entrepreneur to another entrepreneur, you're not trying, you're doing it, because that's the one thing that I've
Thank
I've
you.
been told, and I've successfully removed that word from my vocabulary. So it's either you
Okay.
do or you
Thanks.
don't, but you never try, because try means I'm not sure, but you're doing it, right? The
Yeah,
outcome
yeah,
could
we're
be,
doing it. We're
yeah,
doing it.
the
We're
outcome
doing it.
could be
Thank
different.
you.
That's fine. Outcome could be
Yeah.
different. That's why you learn, you improve, but you're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you're not trying. And
Yeah.
definitely in your case, you haven't been trying. You're doing it. They are behind. I'm seeing them. Yeah. So it's
Thank
not
you.
about
Thank you very much.
how do you
Okay.
multiply that. So yeah.
Yeah.
So no,
Yeah.
that's great. So thank you very much for your time, and then all the best with your adventures. And as I say, so we be in touch, inshallah.
Yeah. Thank you. Namaste. Thank
Namaste.
you.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye bye.